Before the world pulls you outward, give yourself a moment to return inward. Each morning opens a quiet doorway, not leading to noise or busyness, but leading back to yourself. Yet many people never step through that doorway. They wake up, reach for their phone, scroll through thoughts that are not truly theirs, and chase worries they never consciously chose. They are awake in body, but they continue sleeping within their own lives. In the spirit of the Buddha's teachings, the human mind is often carried away before it even realizes it is living. The emotions that arise at the beginning of the day silently shape everything that follows. When a morning begins in restlessness, the day that unfolds rarely finds peace. But if we pause just a little earlier, simply to listen and to say one honest sentence to ourselves, everything can begin to change. What would happen if the very first words you offer yourself each morning could shape your entire day? In this video, we will gently explore 5 simple yet profound reminders that help the mind return to stillness from the very first moments. 1. I am not my thoughts. Many people begin the day already feeling tired, even before their body has left the bed. Before the light has time to fill the room, the mind has already rushed into motion. Familiar thoughts appear almost immediately. Yesterday is unfinished. Today holds too many tasks. This day will probably be difficult. Nothing has truly happened yet, but inside, a storm has already begun. Suffering does not start from circumstances. It begins with unrecognized streams of thought. According to the Buddha's teachings, the human mind is like a monkey jumping from branch to branch, constantly leaping from one thought to another, rarely resting. It judges, compares, predicts, and reacts without pause. Without awareness, it is easy to believe that everything appearing in the mind is who we truly are. And when we believe that, we hand over our emotions to thoughts that are constantly changing and unstable. But there is one essential truth you need to remind yourself of each morning. You are not the thoughts passing through your mind. You are the space that quietly knows they are there. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is compared to the sky. Thoughts are only clouds. Clouds may be thick or thin, bright or dark, but the sky remains vast and untouched. When you identify yourself with the clouds, you live in constant movement. When you remember that you are the sky, a natural calm begins to appear. Most people suffer because they allow the mind to speak first and awareness to arrive later. The moment they wake up, they let thoughts lead the way, emotions follow behind, and the entire day is carried forward without choice. A mindful morning reverses this pattern. Let presence speak first. Let the mind speak second. When you pause and observe instead of reacting, you begin to reclaim authority over your inner life. The image of a practitioner sitting quietly beneath the Bodhi tree as wind moves through falling leaves reflects this state. The outer world may move, but the inner world remains still. Meditation does not ask you to remove thoughts or force the mind into emptiness. It simply invites you to see clearly what is happening. When a thought arises, you know it has arisen. When an emotion rises, you recognize it rising. No judgment, no clinging, only observation. Liberation does not come from changing thoughts, but from changing your relationship with them. When you believe everything you think, you are carried away. When you see thoughts as passing events, you become free. This is why many people suffer even before breakfast. They have not yet returned to awareness before the mind has already told a negative story about the day ahead. Tomorrow morning, try something very simple. Sit quietly on the edge of your bed. Close your eyes. Take a few slow breaths. Then gently say to yourself, I am not these thoughts. I am the stillness watching them pass. That single reminder is enough to create space. And within that space, you begin to live differently. Because the way you begin your morning slowly becomes the way you live your entire life. 2. Everything I need already exists within me. As the morning begins and the light is still soft, a familiar feeling quietly appears. A small but persistent thought whispers that we are not enough, not skilled enough, not far enough. not safe enough. That feeling arrives very early, even before our feet touch the ground. From that moment on, people begin to run. They run after achievement, after recognition, after the standards the world sets. Many live the entire day in a state of lack without ever realizing it. According to the Buddha's teachings, suffering begins the moment we forget our inherent wholeness. When we believe that happiness exists somewhere outside ourselves, we hand over our inner peace to circumstances. We think that once we gain this or achieve that, the mind will finally rest. But that sense of peace keeps moving farther away because it does not belong to anything that can be held in the hands. Mourning is when the illusion of lack is at its strongest. As we scroll through other people's lives, we compare, measure, and quietly place ourselves below. When the to-do list appears, we feel not fast enough, not good enough, not perfect enough. Yet if we pause and look more deeply, we begin to see that the very idea of lack is what keeps the mind from ever resting. Buddhist wisdom invites us back to a simple truth. Everything needed for inner peace is already present within us. Awareness, compassion, the ability to breathe slowly and return. These qualities are not created from the outside. They are awakened from within. Like a small seed, from the outside, it appears still and insignificant. Yet within it, an entire forest already exists. The seed does not need to run out and search for the forest. It only needs the right conditions to remember its potential. Human beings are the same. We search for light outside, forgetting that the source of light is already here. When we depend on praise or validation, we lose our roots. But when we turn inward and recognize inner sufficiency, the way we walk through life begins to change. No longer begging, but offering. No longer lacking, but grounded. True sufficiency of the heart is not the pride of the ego, but the calm of the inner world. When the ego needs to prove itself, the mind is tense. When the inner self knows it is enough, the mind softens. From that place, we stop chasing outer value and begin living from inner value. Each morning, try placing a hand on your heart. Breathe in slowly, breathe out gently, then quietly say to yourself that everything I need already exists within me. Not to convince yourself, but to remember. As those words settle, the mind slowly returns to its natural wholeness, and from there, the entire day is guided by ease rather than lack. 3. Nothing outside me can take away my peace. After recognizing the sense of sufficiency within ourselves, another challenge begins to appear as we step into the world. Other people carry their emotions, their pressures, their insecurities. Without awareness, it is easy to take all of this in and believe it is our responsibility. And in just a moment, the peace we had touched is disturbed again. Buddhist teaching does not ask us to become cold or closed off from life. Letting go is not about shutting the heart. It is about widening awareness. We can still listen, care, and help without being swept away by the emotions of others. When letting go is misunderstood, we either become rigid or we become exhausted. The Buddha pointed out that much of our suffering comes from carrying what does not belong to us. We are not responsible for another person's anger, their fear, or the stories forming in their mind. When we carry the weather of other people's inner worlds, we forget the quiet sky within our own. Imagine your mind as a very deep lake. On the surface, winds may blow, stones may fall, waves may rise. Yet in the deep layers below, the water remains still. Mindfulness practice is not meant to stop what happens on the surface. It helps you anchor yourself in that depth. When someone brings tension or judgment, you can choose not to react immediately. You breathe, you notice, you return to the body. Peace does not come from controlling the world, but from not handing control of your mind over to circumstances. Living with calm in a constantly changing world is not weakness. It is a powerful form of awareness. When you maintain inner stillness, you are not escaping life. You are moving through it with steadiness. Each morning, remind yourself that nothing outside has the power to steal your peace unless you allow it. Others may be loud, situations may be difficult, yet your center can remain settled. That quiet center is your silent strength. When you no longer have to brace yourself against every surrounding emotion, your inner energy is preserved. From there, you can respond to life with softness rather than resistance. To remain calm within chaos is a transformative choice rooted in awareness. Protecting your peace is not about proving anything to the world. It is about being free to live in alignment with yourself. In a society conditioned to react quickly, stillness becomes an act of courage. When you choose calm, you quietly refuse to let life pull you away from who you are. Peace is not a reward at the end of the day. It is the foundation that allows you to walk through each day with lightness, clarity, and compassion. 4. Today I choose presence over pressure. Many people begin the morning already running, even though their body has not yet stepped out of the room. The mind has opened its list of tasks, unread messages, and responsibilities waiting ahead. Pressure arrives so early that we forget we have just woken up. Instead of touching life, we are immediately pulled into the cycle of doing and achieving. In modern life, busyness is often seen as a sign of worth. The more tasks and the more pressure we carry, the more we believe our life has meaning. Yet in the spirit of Buddhist teaching, rushing is not evidence of awareness. More often, it is a sign that we have drifted away from ourselves. The Buddha repeatedly reminded people to return to the present, because only here does life truly happen. The past has already passed. The future has not yet arrived. Only this moment is breathing, moving, and living. When we lose the present moment, we lose the very foundation of inner peace. Pressure often disguises itself as urgency. It tells us we do not have enough time, that if we are not faster, we will fall behind. But pressure does not deepen life. It only tightens the mind. Presence, on the other hand, is simple. It asks for no extra effort, only full attention. A warm sip of tea in the morning, a soft ray of sunlight touching the skin, a breath moving in and then out. These small moments are often overlooked when the mind is busy chasing what has not yet happened. Yet it is within these ordinary moments that life quietly opens. When we choose presence, we are not avoiding responsibility. We are changing how we step into it. Work still needs to be done, duties still remain, but we are no longer pushed forward by tension. We move step by step, doing one thing at a time, with awareness rather than panic. For those who feel exhausted, this reminder is especially important. Burnout does not come only from the amount of work, but from living too long without being present with oneself. When the body is here but the mind is always elsewhere, fatigue slowly accumulates without being noticed. Each morning, before the to-do list appears, take a moment to breathe and say to yourself that today, I choose presence over pressure. That sentence does not remove responsibility, but it sets the foundation for how you meet it. When you return to the present moment, the rhythm of life naturally slows. Not because you do less, but because you live more deeply. And then a gentle question can arise: am I truly living my life, or am I simply checking off tasks? 5. I let go so life can flow. As the morning continues and the new day begins to open, there is a quiet choice that each person is making, whether consciously or not. It is the choice to hold tightly or to let go. Most of us wake up already carrying attachment. Attachment to plans, to expectations, to how we believe things should unfold. The tight grip causes the mind to become tense even before life has truly begun. According to the Buddha's teachings, the deep root of suffering lies in clinging. When we say that something must happen, when we believe that losing something would make us unable to be okay, fear immediately arises. The mind begins to resist the natural flow of life, and within that resistance, exhaustion appears. Many people misunderstand letting go as giving up, but letting go in Buddhist wisdom is not turning away from life. It is changing the way we hold. You can still have dreams, direction, and things you care about, You simply do not allow them to become chains that bind your mind. When expectation turns into command, lightness disappears. Look at the image of bamboo in the wind. Bamboo does not stand because it is rigid, but because it knows how to bend. When strong winds pass through, bamboo does not fight them, nor does it break. It listens to the movement of the wind and adjusts. That softness is what allows it to endure. Human beings are the same. When we loosen our need for control, we do not become weaker. We become more flexible and resilient. Life is like a river. When we try to force its direction, the water becomes turbulent and heavy. But when we step in, feel the current, and allow it to guide us, everything begins to move with ease. Letting go is not drifting without direction. It is trusting that the river knows its path. Much of the tension in life comes from the need to control. We want to control outcomes, other people's reactions, and the unfolding of the future. Yet the more we try to control, the more tired the mind becomes. When we place trust in the intelligence of life, we allow ourselves to breathe more lightly. Letting go is also an act of courage. The courage to admit that we do not need to hold everything in our hands. The courage to allow what we did not expect to happen without losing ourselves. Within that release, a new strength appears, the strength of trust. Each morning, gently say to yourself that I let go so life can flow. Not to escape, but to open the heart. When you release a little, space opens within the mind. In that space, you no longer resist. You respond. You are not dragged by circumstances. You walk with them. When letting go becomes the foundation, life begins to soften. You no longer have to strain to remain standing. You bend with the wind and still remain yourself. And within that flow, you realize that trusting life does not cause you to lose your direction. It helps you return to the sense of ease that has always been there. So we have now walked together through the 5 morning reminders. They are not phrases meant to convince yourself or force you to be more positive. They are gentle anchors that help the mind return to its proper place before the world begins to pull you away. Each reminder is a small doorway, and you do not need to open them all at once. Opening just one is enough to let the light in. The first reminder helps you remember that you are not the thoughts passing through your mind. You are the awareness quietly watching them appear and disappear. When you no longer identify yourself with the stream of thought, freedom begins to take shape. The second reminder brings you back to your inherent sufficiency. Instead of waking up with a sense of lack, you remember that everything needed for inner peace is already present within you. When you live from inner sufficiency, you no longer chase outer value to prove who you are. The third reminder invites you to protect your peace as something sacred. Nothing outside can take away your calm unless you give that power away. You learn to listen without absorbing, to love without losing yourself. The fourth reminder invites you to choose presence over pressure. You do not need to move faster in order to live more fully. Simply being fully present in this moment allows life to become naturally deeper. And the final reminder opens the path of letting go. When you stop trying to control everything, life begins to flow more gently. You trust the current instead of resisting it. These 5 reminders are not meant to change who you are, but to help you remember who you truly are. In Buddhist wisdom, peace is not something to be achieved, but something to be remembered. It has always been there, beneath the noise of thought and habit. If these reminders have brought you a moment of calm, take a little time to share your reflections in the comments below. You can also like the video to help spread this peaceful energy to others. And if you wish to continue walking alongside these healing stories rooted in Buddhist wisdom, subscribe to the channel so we can meet again in future videos. Your peace may be exactly what someone else is quietly searching for.